Aloha, this is your mean squirrel, here with a quick disclaimer. This podcast contains explicit content and parental discretion is advised. So no bitching if you fucking get offended by anything. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into the Squirrel Tangent, and that's 1 minute you're never going to get back. We got the Suave Squirrel back again because, well, you know what? I'm an old fuck and my social life sucks, and so I talk to like 4 people on the planet, and well, he's one of them. Lucky him.
Well, I was your trainer, so I have to.
Well, no, you don't have to. You could have said that, I'm a complete and utter loser and boring, so thank goodness you didn't do that. But, so before we came back for our second hour that's going to be heard 2 weeks after our first hour, you're telling me, man, you got a fucked up family.
Trust me, I know.
Dude.
Oh, that's on my dad's side.
That's on your dad's side? Is your mom's side worse or better?
Worse.
Worse than a knife-wielding 5-year-old?
Hold on. Here we go. So, like I said, my cousin married our third cousin. Now, on my mom's side,
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes, my mom's oldest sister is from a different dad. Okay, her sister and my mom are from 2 different dads. Well, my aunt had a boy and 3 girls. The oldest of the girls married her first cousin. Luckily, she was already into her 40s.
I wish that a microphone could pick up facial expressions, because right about then I did.
Yes.
Oh.
Luckily, she already had her tubes tied or cauterized or whatever. But yeah, she married her first cousin.
That's just no.
Yes.
Ew.
Yeah, my family's both sides are pretty jacked up. If I told you the stories of my life, you'd be like, how the fuck did you live through all that?
And I know people that are just as bad. Like, I know this one person whom I'm going to leave nameless, but she ended up in a relationship with somebody who had the same name as her.
Mm-hmm.
They were opposite gender. It's just a unisexual name.
Yeah.
But they both had the same name. And he got her name / his name tattooed on his dick.
The hell? I'm trying to. Why?
And folks, this is Tattoo 101. Do not get your significant other's name tattooed on your body. Period. That's just...
It's the kiss of death.
It's the kiss of death. So you don't get somebody's name tattooed on your body unless it is your child or someone who is in your life that you've lost. Your parent,
grandparents,
some a deceased spouse, but not somebody you are currently with. That's just the kiss of death. It's just done. It's you might as well just be saying,
number one rule.
I plan on not being with you for very long because check it out. Here's your name. But we can top dude getting his/her name because they have the same name. So for the rest of his life, even though they are not together anymore, which I know this to be a fact, they are not together anymore. Every time he rubs one out, he is going to be rubbing on her name.
Well, you could be saying, fuck you. So there you go.
I guess I'm going to be fucking myself. I mean, but to top this one off, I found, oh man, let me see if I can actually send you the picture because I shared it. I shared it with the Bratty Squirrel. We were going to be talking about it. And
well, I mean, talking about, I know of a family, mom, her husband passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So she got married to this other gentleman and they became a blended family, because she had kids, he had kids. Well, guess what? Her son married his stepsister.
Huh?
Yeah.
But okay, that's a little weird.
So in one way or another, mom and dad became the in-laws right away.
Yeah.
And also grandparents.
There we go.
Yeah, so the guy married his stepsister. And the moment and the way they told it is the moment they met, they were head over heels for each other. They have no shame in talking about it. And he's like, yeah, within 2 days of us meeting each other, we were already in bed with each other.
Check your messenger. Check your messenger.
Oh, God. Yeah, I saw that.
So, that tattoo.
Damn.
So, in description of that tattoo, apparently this young lady is dating somebody named Alejandro, who I'm guessing shaves his boys because she got his saggy, wrinkly ass nutsack tattooed on her shoulder above her breast with his name.
Imagine him sucking on her boobs or right in that general area.
Right. Like they're in the middle of boning and all he's doing is looking at his own nutsack. Like, what? That can't be a mood enhancer. Let's balls ain't pretty to a guy. Balls ain't pretty to a guy. I don't even think balls are pretty to a woman. It's just, ugh.
Especially when they start hanging halfway down to your knee.
Well, we don't need to talk about yours. You're the old man here. But
yeah, tattoo of your significant other's name on you is a kiss of death. I mean, yeah. I literally have my ex's lips on my chest, and I'm gonna be doing a cover up tattoo on it. Mm-hmm. It's gonna cost me about $350 because I'm gonna change it into a rose and putting my mother-in-law who passed away the day after Thanksgiving from COVID. Oh, so I'm going to put a rose and put her name right underneath that, and it'll be her. I mean, I loved my mother-in-law to the very end. Mm-hmm. We were divorced. My ex-wife and I divorced and everything, but anytime I went into San Diego, I would always visit her, and she'd treat me like, I was still part of the family.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh God, what are you about to send me?
No. Somebody was Somebody was responding because I did a desperate search to see if we can get some more people onto the podcast this evening. And somebody responded is like, "Oh, your podcast tonight? I'm not even dressed." I'm like, "Oh, well, okay." There's that. But,
okay, so we were talking about, before we went on, we were talking about remakes of movies and, video games and whatnot. So, like Dune, I saw the original, I saw the remake, which we both were like, eh. But now the part, I guess they're calling that part 2 for some reason.
No, it is a remake. It is a full remake. And now the only reason why they would call it a part 2 is it's going to be in a 2-part series. It is not. They're not doing the entire movie at one time. It's going to be 2-parter.
Okay.
So
of movies that the originals and then were remade, which is the best movie you've seen, and they remade it and it was worse than the original, or the original, it was but when they remade it, it was like, wow. See, for me, and my youngest daughter, when I showed her the original Christmas Carol from way back in the black and white version, she was like, okay. But when I showed her the version with George C. Scott, she's like, oh my God, he was perfect for that role. She was happy about it.
And really, I mean, it's just a difference because, like, there's one where they had Patrick Stewart did it too.
Yes.
It's been done a million times. And it's all about who they get to play Scrooge, because you can't just have some random grumpy dude. You need to get somebody that can really get some good power behind that bah humbug. You got to get somebody that can really feel that change of character from hating all things Christmas to the epitome of Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
And that's
and
not
sometimes
easy.
And I'm not bashing on women or anything, but I've seen how they've done remakes with women. Like Susan Lucci actually did it back in the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. And it didn't translate that well. Yeah,
I mean, if a story was written as a particular gender, it kind of needs to stay that gender, and not because of any gender fluidity or any gender stereotype or anything like that, but there are certain personalities that is really difficult or next to impossible for somebody of the other gender to do. Now, if you've got somebody that's transitioning, that's a difference. I mean, I know somebody who's gone through the transition that I'm telling you right now, they are a guy.
Yeah.
Period. They may not have started that way. And having known him since before he was a she, I never could have seen it, because he was a very attractive young lady.
What's her? Cher's son now. What's his name now?
I forget his name.
I mean, you could never tell that.
No,
he was started off as a woman.
No, you couldn't. And I know a couple that have been male to female transition. Chaz, that's it.
Because his female born name was Chastity, I believe.
I think
but
so.
He changed it to Chaz, yeah. Or even look at Jazz Jennings. They made a whole. They still do a series on Jazz Jennings on TLC.
Yeah. And honestly, once a person transitions, that's a difference, because they are that gender. But if a role was written as a male, because you can't fake the funk.
Yeah.
You can't fake it if you are not a male. Now, when I'm talking to somebody that's transgender is that other gender. They may have the body of a female and be a male, but they are a male. And that's the difference.
No, you know who could have pulled off the female version of Ebenezer Scrooge? Kathy Bates.
See, and there's
because
that. If you're going to be a female in a role that was written for a male, you need to have a certain... God, that's a hard one. That's a really hard one. Because it's not...
Like a personality type.
Right. You need... There's just a clear masculinity to that role. There's just even if you read the lines, if you were to read the lines, you don't read female.
Yeah.
You read grumpy old man because the reactions are different. The author wrote it incredibly well because you can actually see that we were talking about earlier where the 3-in-1 shampoo thing. That's a very man thing. Because, it's just certain things that you typically do as a man that is just simply different than what a woman would do. And it's not, and it's just not something you can really pretend well.
Yeah.
And a well-written character, you can just tell who they are. I don't know if I've ever read a character that was completely genderless. I don't think so. I don't think I've ever read a character that was completely genderless that you could just swap in another gender.
Yeah.
You can do it, but I don't know. It's rough.
Yeah. When Wonder Woman first showed up on the screen, whether it was on, in the theaters or on TV, it went from bad to just amazing. Was Kathie Lee Crosby. She was the original Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. She had on a full bodysuit. She didn't have the Linda Carter outfit.
Right.
You know, and when I saw that original one, I'm like, even back then I was like, it's all right. But then Linda Carter comes in with her outfit. They're like, yeah, okay, this is Wonder Woman. Because I've read the comic books.
Right.
And whatnot. But then you come to Gadot, and she just blew that.
She did, and I was really hesitant because again, this is a matter of does a person fit the role? Now she's got where she managed to do it is because she has the personality for it. She does not fit what I expect to physically be Wonder Woman. Because again, to me, Wonder Woman is this tall, statuesque, rather actually kind of thick with the 2 C's woman, and because she's an Amazonian, she should be, that rather intimidating statuesque woman. And again, that's a situation where it's not even the gender, it's the physique, she manages to fill that role by simply carrying herself the way that seems larger than life. Yeah. And that's the only reason why she manages, because she's a little itty bitty tiny thing. She's really petite. She's not a big girl at all.
Yeah. But the way she plays it.
Yeah. Had this movie been done 20 years ago, I would have said Lucy Lawless without even hesitation.
Almost. That's what everyone was waiting for, was for her to do that role.
Right. Lucy Lawless would have been perfect. And for anybody that doesn't know who Lucy Lawless is, well, then you shouldn't be listening to me because, well, damn it, you're not geek enough for me. You're too young. You're too young. Lucy Lawless is Xena, warrior princess.
At the same time, it was The Adventures of Hercules.
The Adventures of Hercules.
What's his name? They did the crossovers and whatnot.
I always found it funny for him because he always had the bad gym practice build. Adventures of Hercules, if you look, he had the big, thick arms. He had the big, broad shoulders, the meaty chest, tight abs, and then he had these little itty bitty chicken legs. Because he always skipped fucking leg day. And I'm
Yeah.
And I always find that funny because you see these guys that are gym rats, right? And they've got like the tribal tattoos on the arms, and you can tell that they're gym rats. They go to the gym 2-3 times a week, and they're always, oh, I pumped iron for like 6 hours today. And then, of course, they only did it for 20 minutes. But they've always got like these itty bitty skinny fucking chicken legs.
Yeah.
I'm like, bruh, you need to be doing leg day for like the next month. Catch up.
Yeah.
Your arms are not supposed to be thicker than your thighs.
Yeah. No, that like The Rock, okay, Dwayne Johnson. Jesus, have you seen how much he eats a day? But look at how much he works out a day.
Dude.
He has like almost 5 pounds worth of fish a day. I mean, this man is eating
and rice and eggs and
he's eating 7 times a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's taking like 20,000 calories in his body, but he's burning almost 22,000.
Yeah, because he's working out constantly. Like if he's not actively eating, he is actively working out. Like that's his whole life if he's not acting.
Yeah, and the thing is, when he knows he's not going to work out, he doesn't eat as much because on those days that he doesn't eat much, he's actually playing with his kids.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing things with his kids.
Yeah.
His oldest daughter from his first marriage, she just had surgery not long ago, and she could actually be the only fourth generation wrestler in the WWE.
Wow.
She is actually working out in the performance center to become a wrestler.
Very cool. I mean, if she wants to do it, man, more power to her. You know, I always tell people is if you find out that one of your kids has a passion, whether it be audio, art, driving, acting,
whatever,
playing the freaking juice harp, I don't care. If it's something that they love to do, encourage it, man. Let them enjoy it. Because, man, I mean, here I am recording a podcast, and I'm having a good time. In fact, I've got another podcast, actually. Speaking of, there's a series coming out on Amazon Prime, The Wheel of Time.
Oh, God.
Now, I don't know if you've ever read any of the Wheel of Time books.
No.
Okay. It's a high fantasy series. I'll get your hands on the first book. I'm currently actually doing a podcast called The Wheel of What, where I've got another buddy of mine who is going through the book. He's never read the books either. And we're discussing it chapter by chapter. Spoiler alert. Do not listen to chapter 1 until you've read chapter 1. And it's really cool because what we're getting him to do is I'm reading the chapter, and he's reading the chapter, and he's reading it with his kid. And so we actually have a little segment in there called the smaller wheel, where his kid asks a couple of questions about the chapter, and I do my best to answer without completely spoiling the rest of the story.
Like my daughters, my 21-year-old and my youngest, they love the Percy Jackson series, but they hated the movies because they're like, you know, it's like almost any other movie when it's translated from book. You know, well, Disney Plus is actually going to remake all the movies. And they're actually going to go by the book.
Good.
So my daughters are super happy about that.
Yeah. I've actually read the entire Percy Jackson series myself. It was a fun series. I mean, I'm kind of a mythology buff. I mean, I don't quiz me on any of it, but it's a lot of fun.
Oh, my daughters, you could quiz them on Greek mythology. Mm-hmm. Oh, they nail it. They're like, no, this is how it happened. Da, 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 da. So before, like my youngest daughter in 9th grade, one of her classes, they dealt with Greek mythology.
Right.
And my daughter was always with her hand up. the teacher asking, who knows about this? Who knows about that? And my daughter was just on it because she reads everything about Greek mythology.
Cool. Very cool.
And she aced that portion of her, her studies.
Yeah, that's always a good. Let's see. Let me see if actually I have intro, master holidays, my drive. I'm gonna see if actually I have the Wheel of Time. I think I have the audio book that I can actually share that with you.
For back in the day, back in the 80s, the Clash of the Titans.
That remake.
Yeah, you look at it. You look at it now. Yes, cheesy graphics, but for back in the day, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays you got the 4K, high definition TVs. You could see all the cheesy stuff in it, but
right.
The remake, I was really like, nah, I don't like this.
Yeah. And then there we go. Actually, okay, I don't have the audiobooks, but as long as you have a means to read on your phone, Merry Christmas, you can download it right there.
No, happy belated birthday.
Oh, my birthday's not until April. Well, yeah, happy belated birthday to you. That's right, because now you're 50 years old.
Yeah, all the what is it, like the Samstown and Gold Coast, those that are part of that group, 50 plus is considered senior.
So what kind of discounts do you get now from them? I'm going to have to remember that because Brandy passed hers in January.
Yeah, Station Casinos is 55.
Okay.
So, you get the half price on. Okay. You get the half price, like almost meals, and when you're playing bingo, instead of paying, whatever the price is, it's not as much. It's half the price, I think.
Oh, cool.
So I haven't really gone into it. I just went in and had my little. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, boy! Pin on me, and they saw how happy I was and whatnot. So. They're like, oh, how old are you? I go, I'm 50. Oh, so you're a senior now? I go, yep.
Yeah, that and Brandy gives me shit for it because I'm actually looking forward to being that 55. I'm like, fuck it, I know I'm a toothless old ornery fuck, but when I turn 55 and I can get that 50-cent coffee at McDonald's, hell yes. I'm looking forward to that. I don't give a damn. I'll live in a trailer park and for 55 and over community. It means I don't have to deal with a whole bunch of, man, I'm starting to sound old. When music got too loud, suddenly I'm old.
Well, it all depends on what type of music, though. I mean, music nowadays, if even my daughter,
just saying that makes us sound old. Music nowadays, back in our day,
No, it just depends on how they're playing the music. If it's good music that you could dance to, okay, fine. But if it's just music to where you're blasting it and, just to annoy people, it's a whole different story.
But, like if I walked down the street and I heard somebody blasting Silent Lucidity from Queensryche, I'd be, hell yeah, I would stop and listen and enjoy because it's just a beautiful song. But half the music today is just like, okay, well, I've heard that beat 15 years ago, and I can't really get into the, what, oh God, I'm sure you saw that one from Snoop Dogg when he was making fun of mumble rap. Like, what's with this mumble rap? All these rappers sounding the same. Anybody can do that shit. and that's and he was just making fun of mumble rap, and I'm like, he's
No,
right.
did you hear the one where all these kids nowadays were saying Eazy-E had stolen the song from this one female who remade Eazy-E's song? Boys, okay, so he sang Boys in the Hood, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This female sampled his song,
Right.
and remade it into her song.
Right.
And when people were like, "Oh my God, she stole that from Eazy-E," and these kids are like, "No, he stole it from her." They're like, "No, he died so many years ago, so how could he steal it from her?"
Dude, they had, I want to say it was Kanye, but it might not have been. But he did a song with one of the only surviving members of the Beatles. And there was people making a post. It's like, oh, how nice of Kanye to give this unknown artist a chance to go up in popularity. I'm like, this is a surviving member of the Beatles. That man right there has sold more albums than Kanye has ever even dreamt of owning.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell are you talking about? That's insane. And
Yeah.
I'm getting a tour of the house.
Oh, it's because I was in my bedroom and my daughter was out in the living room watching TV.
Ah.
So I told her, "Oh, I'm going to be in the bedroom." So.
Yeah.
But, it's kids nowadays don't know real music. They think every yeah. But my youngest daughter, she knows music from the 70s and 80s because we watch that on YouTube all the time.
Right. And there's actually, one of the ones I've actually grown to love. I don't know if you've seen them, but the Postmodern Jukebox.
I've heard about them.
They take like 80s and 90s rock and they do it 30s jazz style.
Oh, wow.
And it's really
on TikTok,
cool.
There's a DJ. You would love him. If I can find him, I'll tag you on it. And he actually he's mixed two boy bands together.
Huh.
Like he'll take the background music,
mm-hmm.
but then he'll add the vocals of another boy band. Or he does
mashups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone is always like, "Oh my God, no way." And you'd be amazed at some of these. There was one, I know it was a boy band. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it turned into Rick Astley.
He rickrolled everybody. And then, one of the ones that I always look forward to every year, and this always happens, is like we just had one come up. I don't know if you've heard of him, but DJ Earworm.
I may have.
Okay, so every year, DJ Earworm does a mix called the United State of Pop. And he takes like the top 20 or 30 songs for the year and makes them into a giant mashup. Like he'll take the beat from this, he'll take the rhythm section from this, he'll take the vocals from this and that and that and that and that and that, and he'll string them all together into one cohesive song.
Oh, crap.
Like he's taking it, and it's only like a 4-minute song. So he's taking like 20 or 30 songs and he's snipping like 2 words from this one, a word from this one, and 2 seconds of a track from this one, and 1 second from this one, and the beat from the bass line from this one, and he's like layering them all together on top of each other to make one cohesive song.
Oh, crap.
This guy's insanely talented. I don't know how I'm like, dude, I was a DJ for years, and I mean, I can picture 2 songs, 3 songs, maybe even 4 songs on top of each other. I can do that. But this
20?
This guy's doing 20, and he's layering like, ooh, I like that half a syllable right there. I'm going to use that. I'm like, what? And he's done one every year for like the past decade. So
Damn.
yeah, you got to look up DJ Earworm on YouTube. He is well worth the check out.
I keep referring to my youngest daughter, and because she loves Japanese anime, and there's one where, well, my youngest and my oldest both love Japanese anime, but my daughter got into classical music because of one called Piano in the Forest, and from there, she started listening to a lot of classical. So now every so often we'll put on YouTube, and it shows people like playing the piano, but they're showing the chords of how to play it.
Right.
And there's one that says the most insane piece, piano piece ever. And you're talking about hitting 20 or 30 keys within not even a second, 1 second. It's like that quick, and you're talking about 2 minutes worth of a song.
Oh, wow. That's kind of like that's kind of like Through the Fire. Oh God, Through the Wind and the Fire or something like that. The Dragon Force song from Guitar Hero.
Oh, okay.
And those guitarists, and there's guitarists that can do that, but if you watch them when they're doing it, it's like, holy crap, how do your fingers move like that? How are you not just like spraying the audience with blood from your fingers moving so damn fast on the damn chords? Because it just shouldn't happen. And so, yeah, no, I have complete respect for talent, no matter where it comes from. And to the point though where I had one old guy on the that was looking at me because I was listening to Bloodhound Gang. Now, Bloodhound Gang is very much rap, hip hop, whatever. Most people know them from the Discovery Channel song. That's the one, sweat, baby, sex is a Texas rap to make me do the kind of stuff that only Prince would sing about. So put your hands down my pants and I'll bet you'll feel nuts. Yes, I'm Cisco. Yes, I'm Ebert. And you're getting 2 thumbs up. You've had enough. Yeah. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. So let's do it like that. Yeah, that one. But that particular artist, like they did a song, all of their songs are funny as hell. They got one called Kiss Me Where It Smells Funny. But they got one that says, why is everybody always picking on me? And with that one in particular, if you listen to it, he goes at such a steady pace that you can't understand where he manages to breathe. Like, and it's on rhythm. And somehow he's managing to breathe while he is singing. So he's inhaling and saying things at the same time. I don't know how.
Oh, crap.
He has to. That's like the only feasible way he could be doing what he does, because he does it live too.
It's like Kenny G when he hit that one note for like 5 minutes straight.
Right. There's some way that he can manage to inverse breathing or whatever it is. And these guys, okay, yeah, their message is kind of jacked up. I mean, why is everybody always picking on me? Started off with the whole thing is like, why is everybody always picking on me? Always picking for Jimmy Papa Lee got the snots like a cause, but there's a lot more wrong with you. So back me up, Bill. Yeah, and you're ugly too. It's just a really fucked up song, but the skill or the dedication it takes to be able to do what they do, it's just incredible. I will never bag on somebody that's just really good at what they do. I don't care what it is. I mean, I used to work at a strip club, and I tried to climb a stripper pole once. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. I got like 6 inches off the ground, and I'm like, nope, not going any further. And then some little rail of a girl comes up next to me, flips a hand up, grabs on, and flips upside down and goes up the fucking pole that way. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that shit? And she's 10 feet up in the air. I'm like, wow, the dedication it takes to be good at something like that. hands up, I'm bowing. I'm not worthy. So yeah, got to give credit to talent where talent is due.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. And it's funny. My daughter and I, well, she loved this one kid who was on America's Got Talent playing the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, oh, and she loves Ralph Macchio. Okay. She saw him on Karate Kid. She's watched a lot of his movies. I go, and when she got to the guitar, I go, oh, let me show you one with Ralph Macchio from Crossroads.
Oh yeah.
That ending where the battle, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, oh my God. She's like, oh my God. She just couldn't believe it. I go, you know what? I'm going to buy it for you. And I bought it for her and she's hooked. She loves that movie.
If you can find it, there is a series. Since your daughter loves music, let me see if it's actually available on Amazon. There is a series called the G3. It's a concert series. G3 concert, okay. It pops up in the Amazon search. It is. So, you can get the audio CD, the DVD. They do not have it. It's not on. Oh, wait. Prime. $8.99 to buy on Prime Video. If you have Amazon Prime. I don't know if you do.
Yeah.
You do? Okay. So $8.99 to buy. You're going to want to buy it because you're going to want to watch it again. It's a concert series called G3. In fact, there's G3 Live in Tokyo, etc. It is Joe Satriani, Eric Johnson, and Steve Vai, who are, by all intents and purposes, gods of the guitar. Gods.
Oh.
Like, Steve Vai... Or not Steve Vai, Satriani can play Flight of the Bumblebees on a guitar.
Nice.
With his tongue.
The hell?
This guy, like, you see them play. Like, at one point in time, those are the three guitar gods, but they get more people on the stage. At one point in time, they get 6 guitarists up on the stage, if I remember it right. It's been a long time since I watched it. But they have one guy is holding on to doing the frets of somebody else's guitar. So he's controlling the frets on one side.
Oh,
and
yeah.
strumming the guitar of the guy next to him like this. And then they have their arms all interlinked all the way down the stage until they have like this whole line of guitars and they're all making this beautiful song together.
Holy crap.
Like, how do you get that good? How do you... They must live, eat, and breathe guitar, and I have to be afraid that, if anybody actually got slapped by those hands, can you imagine how tough those damn fingers are?
How calloused?
How calloused, man, that they slapped your face, man, your jaw would just say, fuck it, I'm done. Gone. But, no, that's, let's see. Satriani, okay, boom. I'm not going to say Merry Christmas because you got to buy it your damn self, but it's well worth it. You can rent it for like $3. It is well worth it, but sit down and watch it with your daughter. She'll really get a kick out of it. In fact, speaking of Crossroads, the guy that he was playing against, that Ralph Macchio was playing against, that's Satriani.
Oh, okay.
So that's his, that's his concert series that he did in like the early 2000s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So definitely check that one out. But yeah, that's us being music geeks. Jesus, we've covered every kind of geek. We've gone from movie remakes, book remakes, which, we're looking forward to a few of those. Dune, Wheel of Time, a whole bunch of stuff like that. Of course, there's
my daughter and I, we were just watching. We watched the last three the last three of the Infinity, Ms. Marvel,
right.
and Endgame. We watched all three yesterday, and I go, technically, as much as I like the movie, I don't like it because in the books they had all the superheroes come together.
Right.
I go, even certain supervillains came together to help out.
Right, and there's budgeting reasons for that. That's kind of like in the first Deadpool movie. He even brought that up. It's like, why is it I'm only seeing the two of you? It's almost like we're in a movie and we ran out of budget for the rest of the X-Men. Which he really did. That was the fourth wall just being like, fuck the fourth wall. But, well, hello, Mr. Lee. Oh, I see. It's 9:00 and you're supposed to get fed. Well, you're going to have to wait about 10 minutes. That's right.
Yeah, because I showed my daughter when the Hulk falls into Doctor Strange's home. I showed her on, because I have it on the ebook. I go, it's actually the Silver Surfer that falls through into his house.
Yeah. And they have to change some things for budgeting concerns. They change some things because they think it's going to attract the newer, younger audience. So us old school comic freaks are like, what the fuck, man? That's not how it happened. But that's recreating anything from a book, And they never get into. See, I would have liked to have them do a Thanos movie because he was always in love with Lady Death. He was always doing everything for her. Right. So what's your so far on WandaVision?
When I first started watching, I'm like, what the hell's going on? But what I loved is that they threw in all the different sitcom TV shows. Oh my god,
that was good. But the thing with me is that when the show first started, and that's all it was the sitcoms. Like there was nothing weird going on, other than you knew it was Wanda, you knew it was Vision, but when that's all that was going on, I'm like, well, if I wanted to watch an episode of Bewitched, I'd watch fucking Bewitched.
Yeah.
And so that first two episodes, I was like, I was almost ready to give up.
Now, okay, so those who haven't seen it, spoiler alert,
Right.
It seems like in the beginning, she actually wiped her own memory of what was going on.
Seemed like it.
Because, it seemed like it because not until the later episodes, she's starting to remember everything.
Well, and the other thing with it is that
she actually went crazy.
No, the way they're suspecting it. Now we haven't finished this series yet, and there's only a couple more episodes of the season. But basically, what's come to be the understanding is they think that she made a deal with the devil, literally.
Well, again, we may have to wait till season 2 to find out. But,
right.
It in also a sense, she did go crazy because she lost Vision.
Right. Right.
So she wanted her perfect little life with Vision.
She was willing to do anything to have to have him back. And, well, it ends up that to have him back, she ends up with 3,000 people being her personal little bitch slaves and living out her sitcom life. And damn, that's kind of brutal.
And it also makes me wonder exactly how powerful she really is.
She's ridiculously powerful. Like, borderline a god.
Yeah. One of the things that I don't like is, when I heard that Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be coming out, for the Marvel Universe. Again, I was born in the 70s. I collected comic books during the 80s. And I know the Guardians of the Galaxy from the year almost 3000.
Right.
So there's a whole different cast of superheroes then. You have the one person, Vance Astro, who was part of the New Warriors in today's time. So, and they came from the future to help out during the Infinity Gauntlet, the Infinity War, the Infinity Crusade.
Right. I had the entire Infinity Gauntlet series throughout, across all the different Marvel comics. I had the entire series.
Yeah,
in the
my brother still has that.
My brother still has it. Because when I had just graduated high school, or I'd only been out of high school for a couple of years. I was in the California Conservation Corps. And somebody broke into my dorm room at the Conservation Corps and stole all of my comics.
Same here. I had nearly 5,000 comics.
I was up there too. I had the entire series of The Death of Superman. I had all the Infinity Gauntlet stuff. There was an entire series where Superman exiled himself from Earth because he played judge and executioner for Zod. I had that whole series. I had the first appearance of Venom in a comic.
Yeah, I had the number one Spider-Man #1 done by Todd McFarlane. I had the Guardians of the Galaxy, which one of the characters in the comic book, the artist actually did the likeness of his son into the comic book.
Right.
So and this so-called friend who ended up being a tweaker stole all my comic books. Now, 5,000 comic books at a minimum of $1.50 each. That's $7,500 worth of comic books at the very least.
Right. And
he took all my
yeah, that's ridiculous.
So he took all my comic books and sold them all for $300.
Oh my God.
And when he stole it, I stopped. I was like, no, I'm not going to do this again.
I haven't had the balls to get up and start collecting comics again because I had so much.
Yeah,
I had,
and to collect all that back is just
I couldn't, because some of my comics were worth several $1,000s. Just one comic.
Yeah.
I had probably upwards of 200 or 300 comics that were worth a couple $100 by themselves. To have to collect them all. There was a Wolverine comic for a while. I had the first 14 issues of that. Never been opened.
Oh, wow.
I had the first 10 issues of Spawn.
Yeah, my brother still has all those.
Which that's another movie they're coming out with. They're redoing Spawn.
Yes.
I'm not really sure about who they chose to do Spawn, but we'll see. But it's kind of hard because I want to get back into comics. I go into comic book stores still to this day, and I look around. I'm like, man, I'd really love to get it now, but where the fuck would I start?
Yeah.
How do you even start from scratch again? I mean,
my brother had a series called The What If.
Oh yeah, no, they're actually planning on doing that with on Disney. They're going to be doing some
what if the each of the all the Fantastic Four had the same type of powers, and in this one issue, it dealt with all four of their powers, and two of the powers, the fire, only one ended up being the Human Torch, which was Johnny.
Right.
His sister and because they burned down a building, an evacuated building that was going to be demolished, but they didn't realize that when they were fighting this one monster, a mom had left her young child in there.
Oh.
And yeah, and so Johnny's sister was so traumatized by it that she never used her powers again, but she became a nun.
Huh. Wow.
And,
Wow.
yeah. And then there was another one where all of them became things, you know, and Ben, being the thing, was the smartest of all four of them. Right. So they exiled themselves onto almost like a monster island.
Right.
You know, so
that would be really cool. I've heard they're planning on doing a What If series on Disney. Like they just recently got the Daredevil and Jessica Jones and stuff like that. They got the rights to that. Yeah. They're going to be bringing back to Disney, the Disney Plus. Oh. But so that's going to be fun. But anyway, we are already sitting on another hour.
Damn. We just went through subjects like crazy.
Well, that is why we are the Squirrel Tangent. And hopefully this next time that we get to record, we are going to have the bratty squirrel back. I love her to death, and I hate it when she doesn't feel good. So we'll get her back.
Oh, by the way, new schedule. I will be out. I will be home by 8 o'clock on Thursdays now on the new schedule.
Sweet. We may drag you in again. And, oh, wow. What was I just thinking? My brain just went squirrel. Poof. Oh, I have one final question to end this out.
Okay.
Because the numbers are coming down with COVID and everything, and people are getting the vaccine and stuff like that, what's the first post-COVID thing you plan on doing?
Buffets.
Huh?
Buffets.
Buffets?
I mean, yeah, because the way they're doing things now, I mean, they're serving you like cafeteria. You know, they serve you instead of you serving yourself. So once all that, you know, is all done and with, I'm going to hit the buffets.
Going to hit the buffets. Dude, that does sound like a good idea because I don't know if you ever have Saturdays off.
I always do.
Okay, well, here's what's going to end up happening then, is you're going to have to grab my ass and Brandy when they open up the buffets again. And please don't grab my ass. It's flappy and flat and just not fun. But at the Silverton on Saturdays, they have a Polynesian buffet.
Yes.
It's all Hawaiian food. And
yes. I want to take my daughter to that.
Oh, yeah. Big ass plates of lau and chicharron and fucking halpia for dessert. Oh, yeah. My diet would go right the fuck out the window that night.
Well, then you'd have to eat light on the day before and light on the day after to recover for that Saturday.
Oh, no, because I allow myself once a week to have a cheat meal. Now, if that cheat meal happens to be like 60,000 calories, well, fuck, I guess I'm going to have 60,000 calories that day. But once a week, I get a cheat meal. I had my cheat meal this week. I had a big fat ass fucking piece of carrot cake. It was good shit. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the Squirrel Tangent. Yet one more episode done. As usual, though, we gotta say goodbye. And if you want to check us out, we are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, of all things. And please check us out, pass us off to your friends, let them know you can listen to them on Apple Podcasts, rate and review us there, Spotify, Pandora, Google Podcasts, we're on everything. If you do like what you heard, please remember to check us out at patreon.com/thesquirreltangent. We hardly post anything on there, but at the very least, you become a Patreon supporter, you will get a shout out in an episode. Aloha.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
Bye, Karen.